Okay, continuing on the second part of the video. As you know, we left from the second third usable address, which is the 172.30.6.0. so we are going to continue from it on a new paper. I'm gonna say it's 172.30.6.0, right? It's the last one. So from the last one, we need to find out the increment and also the subnet mask. How are we going to find that? We are going to use this one, right? The one that we used. Then we are going to say 120 users. Okay, it's not 2. You need to know that 120 users, how many hosts is it having? So when we check, we find that the highest value that can allocate as the 120 is 128, and 128 is having 2 exponent 7, which is 2 exponent 7, which is 7 hosts, right? So since it's 2 exponent 7, you can also get our prefix here, which is 25, right? Since it's 25, you're gonna say it's /25, right? So we can also get our subnet mask and say the first 25 bits are getting ones, and then the remaining will be 0. Then you're gonna say 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 8. This is 24, and then we say 25, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? And then you can say alternatively, since we say it's 2 exponent 7, right? We can say from the 32 bit, the last 7 will be zeros and the remaining ones will be ones. That's how we find our subnet mask, right? Then now we are going to convert this into binary. Is it binary decimal? Then it's 255.255.255. So since this is having 8, it means it's like this. It's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So since it's the last one, we know it's going to be 128, and then we put 128 here. This is our subnet mask, right? So now we need to know our increment. We are having this IP address. We're gonna say 172.30.1234567.8.0, right? So it's 2 exponent 7. So we are going to count where it's allocated. It's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8, right? 2 exponent 7 is on the 8th bit. So meaning that we are going to increment on the 8th bit, right? Okay, let me just put this like this, 6 7 8, right? We are going to increment on the 8th bit. Which one? This one, right? So meaning that we are going to put a 1 here. It's gonna be 172.30.1234567.8.1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? Then it's gonna be 172.30.6. this one, which is 128, like this, right? That's our address, right? Since we are done, we move to the second one, which is having 60 users. Then we're gonna say, since it's 172.30.6.128, and then for this one we are having 60 users, which is, we are checking from here again, where can we have 60 allocated? It's on the 64. That's the highest value after 32, which can allocate 60 users. This one, which is 2 exponent 6, meaning that it's having how many hosts? It's having 6 hosts, right? And then since we need the prefix for this, it's going to be /, 26 from this to exponent 6, which is 26. Then we can do the same about the subnet mask. We can say the first, since it's 2 exponent 6, the last six bits are getting zeros and the rest are getting ones. Then we're gonna say 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 8, 2 3 4 5 6 and 8 dot 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, then 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? It's like this. Since we already know the first rate is 255.255.255, we are going to calculate these ones. So since on the table we know it ends here, we're gonna say the first two are the ones that are getting the ones, which is 128 plus 64, which gives us blah 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 192. Then we're gonna say here it's 192. We put it like this. That's our subnet mask, right? Then we are done with it. So since we are done, now we are going to look for our next increment, right? We are going to convert it back to this one. We're gonna say 172.30.1234567.8.1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we are going to calculate where 2 exponent 6 is. We are going to say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, which is on the 7th bit, right? Meaning we are going to increment here, right? Then we're gonna say it's 172.30.1234567.8.11.1234567.8. So since we already calculated the first two, we know this is 192. We're gonna say it's 172.30.6.192, right? This is our new usable IP address, right? Now since we are done, we are going to take it again, .6.192, right? Then we are going to say we are having 50 users now, which is net 5 50 users, right? So we're going to find 50 users again, and then we're gonna check that where can we find 50, what's the highest value that can give us 50. It's 64 again, which is 2 exponent 6, meaning that 50 users can give us 2 exponent 6, which is 6 hosts, right? And then we check its prefix, it's 26 again, right? It's the same as this one since they lie in the same address, which is /26, like this again, right? So we are going to take this back again and then check our increment. We're gonna say it's 172.30.1234567.8.1224556, right? The same way. So since we apologies for that, we know that the increment for this, it's here on the 2 exponent 6. We're gonna say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 again. So we're going to increment on this bit again, the 7th one, right? So since it's already like this, we're gonna add another one to this, which is going to give us let's see, we incremented here, we're gonna increment here again. So if we add 1 here again, it's gonna be +1 here in binary 0 0 0 0 2 4 5 6. 1 + 1 is 1 0, so it's gonna be a 0 here and it's gonna be a 1 + 1 here, which is gonna be a 2. But since we're not gonna give it a 2, we are going to increment by 1 to the existing, meaning it's twice this value, right? So we are going to be having blah blah blah. Okay, as I was saying, since we are going to add from here, it's going to be 1 plus 1, which is 2. And in binary, we know that we don't have a 2. So that means this whole thing is going to add a whole value to this. Right? Meaning that the 1 is going to go to this side. Since 1 plus 1 is carrying 1, which needs to go to this side. Right? So that means it's going to be 172.30.12345.678.0, like this, right? Which is 172.30.7.0, right? But we are not going to use this one since we already have the 5 IP addresses that we are having, which I'm also going to add on my third paper. Right? Okay, let me just put it this side. So how are we going to start? We are already having our first address, which is 172.30.0.0/22, right? Another one, it's this one, it's 172.30.4.0/23, right? And then we have the third one, this one, which is 172.30.6.0/25, and we are having which one? This one again, which is 172.30.6.128/26, and the last one, which is, since we are having 5 users networks, is 172.30.6.192/26, right? So we can just put a table here again. I don't know what is it for, blah blah blah. Is it for last host address? Yeah, so it's going to be for the last host address and for the subnet mask. So since we already know our subnet mask from the beginning, here it's gonna be 255.255.252.0, right? Here it's going to be 255.255.254.0, and then the other one, it's 255.255.255.128. Another one is this one. Okay, is it? Did I count to 128? Let me check how many I have. 254. Okay, then it's the 128. It's this one, and it's 255.255.255.192. Okay, so since I left this one, I didn't put the subnet mask because it's the same as this one. So since they are the same, there's no need for me to calculate it again. .192. So it's the same as this one. It's 255.255.255.192. Right. So now we are going to go to the interesting part. Subnet address, last host address, right? Subnet mask. Okay, pause. Okay, so in terms of the last host, since we are like this, it's gonna be this one minus 2, this one minus 2, since they are all ending with zeros, right? But for the ones that are not ending with zeros at the end, we are going to minus 1, right? So from this one, we are going to say it's going to be 172.30.3.254. Here is going to be this one, which is 172.30.5.254, like this. So for this one, it's going to be interesting, which is going to give us 172.30.6.127, right? And again, for this one, it's going to give us 172.30.6.191. So since we are only having 5 address, then that means this one doesn't have the last host address. Thank you.